Before we get started, I would like you to go check out Jules by Marls right now, live on Instagram. It's JEWELZBYMARLZ. Jules by Marls. She has fabulous bracelets on deck. I love them so much. I may have to go buy another one. So right now on Instagram, go to Jules by Marls. This is a young female entrepreneur on the rise. Please be on the lookout. Jules by Marls. Tell her Coach Cam sent you. All right, welcome to joining me now. We have two of your own who decided to get on the podcast. We have
Ella and Uma.
Welcome to the show. Two 7th grade students that reached out to me and wanted to cover the topic of social media and all the little burning questions that we may or may not want to have or talk about, but we're going to try to address some of that this afternoon. I want to thank them. I like to do my flower segment in the beginning. I like to thank them for being brave enough to step on the podcast and have this conversation. We're going to start off. Go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Social media and tweens or teens. Your questions answered on Coach Johnson's podcast.
All right. Awesome. What do you think are some of the negative effects of social media?
Okay, well, many lies can be spread on social media, which I think has happened before.
Can I quote it? I'm going to quote Mr. Seversky. I'm going to say, it's actually a brain pop quote, but it's a Mr. Seversky quote in my heart. Is that people, you'll only believe what people tell you because that's the only thing you'll know. But that's like they can lie to you, but you'll only believe what they tell you, but you won't know what they actually are. So yeah,
Exactly.
Like you'll only know what they tell you that they are because you can't find out anything else about them.
Okay. So you're saying that one negative effect is that people spread lies and the information they give
It's false.
is false. It can be false because you never really take the time to go ask that person if the lies are true or not, or you just believe it automatically.
Yeah.
Also, everything is permanent.
Ah.
So if you say something mean and then you delete it later, somebody could have taken a screenshot, and then you're in trouble. And online life is real life. One of like the 6 rules that Brain Pop said. So
No, that's very true. Like when you put information out on the internet, it stays there forever. Even if you pull it up for a second and then delete it, it's somebody's already screenshotted it. Somebody's already shared it with somebody else. So you have to think about anything that you put up before you actually post it. So any other negative effects of social media?
Cyberbullying. Being mean to people over like social media apps like Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook and Twitter and other things. Like, I don't know, like it's worse if it's anonymous because then you'll like never know who says it. But then it's also really bad if you're the person who's anonymous and then you get found out about, and then you get in trouble. So don't be anonymous on social media. And don't say mean things.
okay, but also maybe sometimes it's good to be anonymous. Just don't say rude stuff because you don't want people to know who you are, but you don't want to say mean stuff because it's the same as if you just call somebody stupid at school, but it's worse for some. I don't know. It's just worse if you do it online because it's permanent and there's proof of it. So don't bully.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Don't
Thank you so much.
Cyberbully.
Yeah, don't bully.
Or real bully though.
What are some positive effects of social media?
Some positive effects are that you can share what you're doing and what you like.
You can show what you make. You make videos. You can show your videos, and then maybe you become really popular. If you have a small business and people really like what you do, then they'll share the video, and then a lot of people see it, and a lot of people like your small business, and that's how things can grow.
And then you make money.
Yeah, sure. And it just builds a community, and it's fun.
Positive is that this could also be interpreted as a negative, but you can make new friends, okay? you can meet people online and make friends, but that could also be a negative because you have to know that they're really a good person and they're not lying and they're not catfishing you.
Yes, it's very important. You must watch out for the people online. Even though there are some good people who are genuinely you genuinely share interest with,
Like Tom
you
Holland.
must be careful. Even with Tom Holland. How much do you think teenagers should use social media?
A lot. Well, not too much, but a normal,
Okay, see, if
reasonable, like, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna say like a specific amount of hours a day because I don't know.
It
what is
depends
too
on
much
the person.
because it depends on like how you're using it. Because if you're using it to like contact your friends and stuff, then it's a good thing. And if you're like, I don't know, like just like scrolling on TikTok, I don't think it could be a bad thing. But there are certain people, like my brother, who get very annoying after they watch too much TikTok, and they get very cranky and they get in a bad mood. So I think that teenagers should just be more aware of how long they spend on like social medias.
Teenagers, they have a more developed mind and they probably won't be as affected from it. But still, it's not very good to go on your phone or anything for a really long time. It's also bad for your eyes. Social media can also be really helpful if you're like just talking to your friends, because a lot of people, they just don't use text message. They just like text people on Instagram or Snapchat.
Thank you. Now, here's a real thing. After using screen time, any form of screen time for a long period of time, there's something in your brain that fires off that is similar to if someone was on drugs. So the same synapses in their brain fire off. There was a study that came out. The same synapses in the brain fire off. That's why if you played video games for a long time, or if you were on social media, on your phone, any screen for a long period of time, you find yourself very cranky, easily agitated, not wanting to be bothered more than usual. You find yourself in that state. So if you ever find yourself in that state and you've been on for 3 hours, maybe you should try being on for 2 hours and giving yourselves a break. I think that's very important.
One thing is, like, I think the best thing to do is probably, like, this doesn't really work when you're playing video games or watching TV, but if you're on just, like, a social media, you can spend, like, 5 minutes on your phone and then go and do something else, and then, like, another 5 minutes or 15 minutes, but not, like, 3 hours at once.
So what other things do you think can happen if you spend too much time on the screen? What do you think people
Your
will miss out
eyes
on?
will-
Yeah, your eyes.
Real life interactions.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you know when like the Oculus, the VR thing, like a bunch of people like that's considered a social media, I think, because you can like
Yeah, because
like
they have their
media
own
and
virtual
social
chat
and
room.
stuff,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So basically, like you miss out on like real life things. Like you miss out on like real life in person conversations with people. And I feel like when people are like have problems with each other and they send a text, it's like it's missing the whole part. It's like where they actually show that they are genuine about this and that they actually have a problem with it, or that they actually want to apologize and stuff. Like, because in person, it's like you have to think about what you say so much more because you don't want to say the wrong thing. But on like social media and like if you text people, it's so easy to just say something and not mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, again, you have to think about what you're saying on social media, because it is still permanent.
Yes, absolutely. That permanence stays with you, and I'm hearing that in your voice, that you double check and recheck with anything you post before it becomes permanent, and that's very smart of you. It's kind of like you have to treat social media like an essay on one of those papers that you write. You spell check it, reread again, send it to somebody else, check it over again before you submit, because you can miss a lot. So that's very important. What's the new and hip social media apps that are out now?
Okay.
Probably TikTok.
Yeah, there's like TikTok. Instagram is pretty old, but you know.
I'm on Instagram,
I
so
use
I'm
Instagram.
old.
No, I use Instagram.
No, it's just an older app. But younger.
No.
There's like
No.
5-year-olds on Instagram, so
Okay.
like I
Way to save that one. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Any other ones? So we got TikTok, we got Instagram. What else we got?
I don't know, Snapchat.
Snapchat.
I mean, these are just like the 3 ones that everyone knows, I feel like.
Okay.
Facebook.
there's like
Not.
Twitter.
Okay, I was told. Okay, everyone, I was told how old I was because I'm still on Facebook. The looks
My
that I
mom's
got,
still on Facebook.
the looks that I got, that I said I use a Facebook was horrible. So I'm just letting everybody know.
My
That.
mom still uses Facebook too.
Okay, I just got told how old I was. Everybody.
Yeah, there's also people on Twitter. I know one person who's like obsessed with Twitter.
My dad.
Not your dad.
Well, he
Oh
is.
yes, and there's also Twitter. Anything else you want to cover? Any projects that you're working on? I always like to give young entrepreneurs a chance to talk about any projects or interests that they're working
Like
on that they want to share.
In school or out of school?
In school,
Yeah,
out of school.
read the
that's-
newspaper.
Yeah, read the newspaper,
You guys
guys.
are not doing that.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about
Be
it.
better. Read the newspaper.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's,
Which Okay, you have to
Okay,
be
so-
clear. Which newspaper?
So the A&L, no, not A&L. United
United
Times.
Mhm.
And if you don't have one, you should go to the main office and ask for one.
And we're coming out with a new one in like a little bit.
Yeah, and it
And we're going to be in it.
Yeah, because yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but an article maybe a little bit like this will be in it.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, wink.
Okay, so y'all heard it first here. Okay, so they just gave me a little tidbit of what might be in that article. So all of those who are listening, make sure you get the United Times.
Yeah.
Okay, that will be out on your newsstands in the main office. All right. So I'd like to thank Uma and Ella for joining the show. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
your
having me.
time.
Yeah,
They
thank
actually
you.
have
It's
to
an
go
honor.
upstairs. Oh, thank you so much. They actually have to go upstairs and finish writing these articles in this newspaper and get it done. I've taken their time, and I want to thank you once again for coming on. Now, I'd like to end with a quote and also let you know that further information and websites and ideas and things like that will be on my blog, on my new website, which is acoachcam.com, which is AYE coachcam.com. Yeah, and that's where the blog will be, where I'll give a more detailed telling of all the different tips and things to look out for social media. So be on the lookout for that, please. I'd like to end with a quote. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of the dreams. And I will see y'all on the flip side.
Also, online life is another quote.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm getting another quote now. Go on.
Online life is real life. From Brain Pop.
Oh.
Tim and Moby, guys.
Yeah,
Moby.
Tim and Moby.
Tim and Moby. All right, y'all. Later. Peace. All right.